feeling sick and you don't tell me, I will put my hand on your shoulder just like this, just to help you feel grounded.
Oh my God! So, and I love technology, and all of a sudden it's this lab, right? The cyber lab was up, that's what they call it. Anyway, amazing. I'm DeAnthony Jones. I'm here on behalf of Mayor London Breed.
You can smell, you can feel, you can hear, and you see things, and you have a full visceral response to what you're seeing.
This was a really great experience. Everyone should take some time and try it. It was great.
Basically, I don't think I would have made it if I hadn't looked down.
Oh, it's hot! I definitely think that this experience, I'm not even going to call it an exhibit, it's an experience. It's an experience where you can apply what's going on in the world and in your community. It's a very touching experience. No matter where you come from, this was amazing. Wow, I felt that in my soul. It's beautiful. You see the birds, I'm enjoying it, I'm a tree, and then I can move my branches.
Here at the African American Arts Culture Complex, it's a wonderful space for Black people to be able to experience VR in a comfortable space, where you're actually being taken care of while you're having the experience, and I love that the most. Like, I felt like at any moment, if I needed someone, that they were going to be attentive to me in the process, and I feel really great. So, do it.
There's hope. They gave me a seed, so I'm gonna plant the seed. There's hope.
I have the pleasure of doing this work with my twin, Melora Green, and this has really been a dream come true for us. It's a vision we had 6 years ago when we were looking for a way to recreate ourselves as curators. And we saw VR as a way for us to really put ourselves into the future. But it wasn't enough for us to have only ourselves and our mentality. It was like, how do we put artists in the space? How do we make a safe space for Black and brown artists to create and fail, and to lab, and to have that be seen as a victory? So for us, you know, it's been about how many conversations do we need to have? Can people get it? Will they get it? And Melora was at Afrotech 2 years ago now, and met a gentleman named Lamar Hines, who really took the conversation to the next level with our sister Dayana Black, who has really, I mean, transformed the vision to what we see today. And the beauty of this is that it will be with us for 3 months. It gives us a way to really show people what's possible and to encourage other artists and creatives to participate and to learn and to grow with us. So this is a huge dream come true. We cannot thank RGA enough for your courage in doing this with us, and for allowing Dayana to really dive in to do this work. The team has been amazing to work with. And as I give thanks, I have to say thank you to our team at the African American Art and Culture Complex, tirelessly working to transform the space and to make it into what you will experience. We want to make sure that you tell your friends, tell your family, invite people to come, and we're so happy to have a representative from Mayor Breed's office to just really acknowledge this moment in time in history for what we're doing here, and we just thank you.
So I'm gonna now go to Cherie, because I think that's an interesting conversation that I have here and there. What does it mean to be in tech exactly? Do you need to be the coder, the engineer to say that you work in tech? Or can I be the marketer creating the PowerPoint material and still say I work in tech?
So tech is everything. Like, engineers are just one component of it. There's designers, there's business folks like me, there's people who look for source of new candidates, there's social media strategists, like anything you can think of that you do for other companies, like they're in tech. Because tech is just like any other business that needs services to help service their customers. And engineers do get a lot of the credit because they're so in high demand, so few of them, that the focus ends up gravitating towards that particular demand. But in Google, we're looking for just about anything under the sun.
Yeah, thank you, Manny. All right, so Cherie, tell us who you are and what is it that you're doing. And I think that I'd love for you to also touch on a little bit of what Manny shared, because I think sometimes when you're tech, and it can seem so ambiguous and daunting, and what is that, and what would I do for a tech company, not knowing that we have skills and tools already that you can place into the fashion industry that you can also then use for a tech company, not necessarily doing the coding and the engineering and building of the products, but other functions as well. So, Cherie.
Awesome. Thank you for having me here. Thank you everyone who's been involved. I'm incredibly humbled to be here, and I think that anytime that I get to share space with people from the Black community, brown community, I am just overwhelmed. I think it's such a beautiful thing. I'm from Idaho. That's home for me. So now you know. For me, this is magic. The first time that I was in a room full of people that were Black, that were not my family, was my dad took us to Alabama, which is where he's from, and I was a risk to him. I don't even know. Me and my sister were pointing at people, and we were staring, and we were in awe, but we were causing a scene in Alabama because we just had never seen so many Black people of all shades of hair, and I was just overcome. And so I understand a little bit why white people want to touch hair, and why, because it's magic. There is something so incredibly beautiful about Black people. And so I was raised in Idaho, and so this is just wonderful. And I was raised in the country, and so technology was something that I wasn't familiar with at all. I knew about cows, and I knew about potatoes, and my backyard was a cornfield, and that's what I knew, right? Like that was my understanding. My parents didn't go to college. It just, all of this was very new to me. And so my way into tech was actually through academia, and having mentors who believed in me and challenged me and pushed me, and surrounding myself with people who were smarter than me, that actually, they weren't Black people. But that was my world, right? Like I didn't have access and exposure. So my upbringing was quite different. So that's where I come from, right? Like that's my home. Those are my roots. I have been in the tech industry for about 5 years. Before that, academia. Before that, actually, I was a life coach for people who were struggling with anxiety and depression. And so the intersection of all of that has led me to the role that I'm in now. I'm a diversity specialist at Google. Google has loaned me out to the sister company, Verily, which is biotech, life science. And so I've been doing some work with them for the past few months. I'll be there 6 months, just building out their, I'm a diversity strategist. So building out their framework internally, their strategy externally to build access and pipeline for people of color to get into the industry. It's a massive job, but I love it. And I think that like there's so much potential, and there's a lens that Black and brown people have that other folks don't, right? Like, and I think that I teach a lot on blind spots, right? And I think that from marketing and sourcing and strategy and legal and like every single industry, we need a diverse lens of understanding. And so I always tell folks, like, yes, the color of your skin is a skill set.